Hello and welcome to Retirees Abroad. Today I'm going to talk about a pergola. It's something I've been wanting to have built over the garden area, and it's evolved, over time and thinking about things and discovering things. So it's changed a little bit. But originally I had someone that had done the railings for us and put in the screens. He also does commercial work, and I was really excited to work with him. However, when we started working together and designing the pergola itself outside, and something I've discovered here in Mexico is I seem like I have to do all the design work and actually put it all together. I'm used to in America, usually it seemed like the salespeople will show up and they'll show me 10 different designs and I pick one, or we modify something that's existing. Here it's a little different. I'm finding that I have to do all the design work, which I don't mind because I do enjoy designing, and it's something that, I could have been an architect or something maybe in another life. But after working with the first gentleman, he was making it so strong, I guess the way, so secure. He insisted it had to be steel for the pergola, which is more expensive. It's more difficult to work with, and it all has to be welded. And it's not something that can be easily modified if you needed to in the future. But when he was showing me his design, I was like, I could build a house on top of that. It was so strong. I said that the price is going to get too expensive to even do. So, but he said he would put the estimate together for me in a couple of different ways. And of course, I never heard back from him. He stopped returning my calls. Again, that's something that's just kind of unique here. I'm used to, like when I was in sales, if I didn't want to do a job or I felt it wasn't proper or I couldn't do it, I just tell the customer, sorry, can't do it. Or it would cost X. And so if you want me to do it, this is what it's going to cost. Here I'm finding a lot of times they just don't return your calls. They just kind of like disappear. And again, it's hard to find someone to speak English, and so a lot of times he did speak English, but I'm learning as well, a lot of times it can be not understood properly. And so I really try to be careful with that to make sure I'm clear and hoping that it's really what I'm asking for, or it's not taken wrong and upset or offend somebody. So again, that's part of just living in another country and making sure you're communicating as well as you can. So I take that into consideration as well. So anyway, my Mario, my attorney, has a contracting business. Again, something very unique about Mexico. It seems like I'm finding everyone knows someone, or they can do multiple trades. So all you have to do is ask, and they usually say, sí, yes. And so fortunately, he had a contractor. He came over, and at first, again, the communication, he wouldn't get an estimate. But as soon as I drew up what I thought it should be, bang, I got an estimate right away within hours. And so I'm going to show you the design that I came up with. This is the pergola design. And again, I've got to put everything in Spanish. So it takes me a long time, and I got to convert our system of measurements to centimeters and meters. And I got to make sure I don't make any mistakes. So I got to double and triple check everything. But here you can close up here. On the left side is going to be the polycarbonate in white. And that'll give us heat protection. It'll reflect the ultraviolet light because that's something that is very strong here up in the mountain. It'll fade all your furniture because their windows here are single pane windows. That's all they use. So I have to compensate with either window films or this polycarbonate. And then the remainder where you see the S's is screens that will be put up. And that will keep out all the bugs, insects, mosquitoes, so we can sit out in the garden and enjoy it at any time, day or night. bug-free. And he came in right around 42,000 pesos, and I thought that was an excellent price. Again, in the US, I mean, you can't even get the permits almost for that, because I'd have to get permits, I'd have to have the building inspectors come out, I'd have to get the homeowners association, it would take weeks to get them to approve it, and of course you got to pay fees sometimes to them as well. It's just unreal how long that process would take. So as soon as he came out, gave me an estimate, brought the pieces over, he brought polycarbonate in white and clear. We chose the white because it would reduce the heat, plus it would give us a lot more privacy from the neighbors. And it's going to be about 9-10 feet tall height interior. So that way we can plant some beautiful plants. I want to turn it into a beautiful tropical garden out there. And again, just the cost difference. I mean, in the US, I doubt I could even get it done for $10,000 all in. So I was just thrilled when I got a price of $2,500. Now we'll see how everything gets done, and hopefully it comes through as good as I'm planning. And they take credit card, so everything's coming together well. Today we're supposed to be getting some of the materials delivered, and then they said it takes about 7 days, and it's going to be using aluminum, which is lightweight, cheap, easy to work with, and then the polycarbonate going over the top of it and screening, so that way I can have fresh air coming in, no mosquitoes. But let me go ahead and show you the garden so we can see the process of doing a pergola here in Mexico, in Querétaro. Let's walk out into the garden here. You can see the views right now. I can see the neighbor's bedroom, their hallways, their bathrooms, and there's 3 neighbors that can easily see into our house and garden. But once the pergola's done, that won't be the case anymore. So you can see our pergola will cover all this area, and it's a big garden area. Not compared to US standards, but it's perfect for me. It's the perfect size, so I absolutely love it. And you can see all the windows looking back into the home. And the windows above, so I got to make access through the panels. So if I need to clean the windows, I had to design it so I can easily remove the panels, so I can, if we have to paint the exterior of the home at some point in the future. So you got to think of all these little things. I did put electrical outlets along the walls so I can run some beautiful lighting. So this is what the garden area looks like right now before the pergola goes in. And this is the white polycarbonate panels that we are going to use. And you can see they're very thin, but they'll get the job done. About 1/4 of an inch, and they do reflect the ultraviolet light. It'll give us the privacy we need. So join us a little bit later when we'll start showing how it gets installed and the progress of getting the pergola.